What's up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Rooted and Relentless. We are continuing my super special series introducing Stakeholder Experience, the new way that you should be thinking about the success of your business over the long haul. Everyone wants to talk about sustainable business. This is how you sustain. This is how you quit thinking money, money, money. I need clients and revenue, and flip that and say, I need to give the ones I have the absolute best experience I can because they carry my reputation in rooms that I'm not even in. But wait, there's more. Your clients are not the only people who do that. Everyone who has a stake in the success of your business is a group of stakeholders that should get your care, love, and attention. And we talk about easy ways to do that. We talk about the ripple effect because they carry your name in rooms that you are not in. They are the difference in clients flowing to you with ease, opportunities flowing to you with ease, and you having to go constantly burn the midnight oil to source those new clients. So today we are talking about your team as stakeholders to the success of your business. And this is an extremely powerful and often forgotten group of people, especially for lean teams and solopreneurs and business owners hiring a contractor for the first time. That contractor, spoiler alert, is still in business. Your reputation is your revenue, and everyone who has a stake in your business carries that reputation. Your clients, past and present, your collaborators and brand partners, your business buddies who have never paid you anything in their life but still carry your reputation because they know you and trust you, your team, the people that you hire to also help you carry what you're doing here, and yourself. Yes, you. You are a stakeholder in your business. I am so excited to introduce you to the concept that is going to take you from hustling for the dollar to building a reputation that does the selling for you. Welcome to a masterclass on stakeholder experience, where your relationships become your growth engine and your reputation becomes your revenue. Hey, I'm Steph, your go-to for no-nonsense chit-chat on growing a business and life that you actually love. Around here, we're rooted in who we are, even if we're still learning to love her, getting clear on where we want to go, and we're relentless in our pursuit to get there. We get into the nitty-gritty of growth in life and in business, money, identity, boundaries, healing, leadership, parenting, partners, and all the messy bits in between. If you're ready to grow on your own terms, laugh a lot, possibly cry a little, maybe laugh until we cry if we're lucky, then hit subscribe and let's get into it. This is Rooted and Relentless. Grab your notepad and hold on to your tits. This one's for you. Teammate, just because they're not a W-2 employee does not mean they're not your teammate and that you shouldn't treat them accordingly. And I'm about to tell you why. You know I like to do strategy. I like to talk about why because your why is your strategic ripple effect. Why and how this one action or this one move or focusing in this area actually has repercussions all across your business, and hopefully the good kind of repercussions. Hopefully benefits. So first though, when we talk about team members, teammates, I'm talking about anyone that you hire to support the success of your business. So this can certainly be W-2 employees. It can also be contractors, and that can be one time or ongoing. Like my CPA works with me once a year, but they have a stake in the success of my business. I have a stake in caring for them. VAs, OBMs that you hire, social media managers, contractors like that. Those people are all teammates and they all have a stake in the success of your business. So anyone that you hire to do something for you. Now let's talk about why this matters, why you should put an emphasis and a focus on caring for your team. And then we'll talk about how different ways that you do that to make it easy on you. So we're not adding more and more and more to your plate, but you're still able to hit these strategic components and see the benefit that it has to your business. And the one most glaringly obvious is that it's actually more cost effective for your business to retain people than for them to leave or churn and to rehire. So you have a reason to take care of them because it's better for you. It's up to 33% more cost effective for you to retain people than constantly have to rehire. Think about it like this. Let's say that your hourly rate is $150 and you interview 3 people, you chat with 3 people for an hour. That's now $450 you spent interviewing folks to land on someone. And if you guys don't hit it off, if you don't do the things to take care of them that we're going to talk about today, you're going to do that again. You're going to waste another $450. But that's not the only money you're wasting when I talk about it being up to 33% more cost effective. The underlying components people struggle to see is like institutional knowledge. Think about it. Let's say that it's an OBM that you hired and you turned over some processes that were great and some that were half baked. They spent time learning these processes that were great, incorporating them, managing them for you now. They spent time making these processes better. They have now learned your business. And what in the first 30 days it took them 20 hours to do, in month 6, it's going to take them 5 or 10 hours to do. But if you lose that person and now you have to hire again and you interviewed 3 people and those were 3 hours and another 450, whatever you wasted, what also about the time that you have to retrain that person, the time that you need to step in and work on developing trust again, the time to develop communication, to get them used to your approval chains, to understand so intimately how you think and you approach that they can do it for you. That takes time. As you'll know, again, by the fact that what someone does in 6 months is different than 30 days. So it's financially in your best interest to also retain people because of that institutional knowledge that they hold. And this will only pertain to a certain group of people that have multiple teammates. But you also, when morale stays high, like if we're leaving because of like contention or something else, sometimes, and we'll get to this part, but sometimes people leave, it's not for a reason or anything that you could do better. But if it is, if it's because of poor communication on your part or lack of systems that facilitate that, and now you have disgruntled teammates making more people disgruntled and proving that leaving your team is better than staying, then you could also have hidden cost in the form of other people deciding to do the same thing. So the hidden cost is way more, and that's why that ceiling can go up to like 33% for the cost of sourcing, loss of institutional knowledge, just the time you spent interviewing and reviewing what people are up to, what their work is, and things like that. The other ones that we've talked about every week, because this is for every stakeholder group that we're talking about, this is literally the precipice of what we're talking about, is they also carry your reputation. Your teammates are most definitely referring you to people that need it when they're obsessed with and love what you do and see what you do. They're also not. They're telling people not to work with you or keeping their mouth shut if they're not happy, if they see the behind the scenes and they know something is going on that they don't want to put their name on. Your teammates see where the rubber meets the road. They are behind the scenes. They see your approach. They see your thought process. They see if you're living the values that you tell the world that you are, or if there's dissonance between the two. So they quite literally carry your reputation more intimately than any other stakeholder group could, because they're seeing the truth. And if that aligns with what you're telling other people, if you show up as a leader online, but behind the scenes you can't communicate, or you fly off the handle, or you play the blame game, then they see the dissonance between you acting like a leader and actually being a leader, right? So they also carry that reputation. I'm not saying they're going and telling people this stuff. I'm saying that they are keeping their mouth shut when there's an opportunity they could actually open their mouth and bring someone else into your world. They will also refer you, hence carrying that reputation. So if they see that need, then now you have another referral partner just by caring for your team, just by being a good leader. When you care and your teammates feel that you care, that the way you approach them, the way you communicate with them is with integrity and respect, and that you care about them and the success and the longevity of their supporting of your business, you also get a higher ROI because they're going to do their best work. Think about this, especially from like an employee standpoint. Anyone listening to this who's been an employee knows what it's like to be undervalued and to lose in that job and to just give the bare minimum, to scroll on social media when no one's looking for hours. That's a loss of productivity on someone else's clock. We have been doing something else, not what they're actually paying us for, right? And the way that you prevent that is for them to be truly bought in, is for them to believe in what you're doing, is for them to want to give their best effort. And they want to do that when they're excited to show up every day and do what you have contracted or paid them to do. And when they feel cared and valued, when they know that that output they're going to give you is valued, when they know that they are valued, they're going to give their best work. And don't you want their best work? Yes, you absolutely do. Okay, let's talk about the hows now. Like, hopefully you understand the importance of why it matters to lead your team effectively, to prioritize caring for the stakeholder group as in your team, because of the ripple effect it can have on your business. It saves you money. It can make you money. Again, one of those resources that we want so much is money, money, money. This is how you save money and make more money. So compounding interest there, right? This is also time, another one of those valuable resources we all love and need more of. They can be the difference in adding time to your plate or saving time for your plate in the long run too, so you're not spinning your wheels constantly replacing teammates. Now let's talk about how. How can you do that, right? This all sounds great, Stephanie. Yes, I want to keep my teammates around. How can I do that? Number one is always going to be communicate effectively. And communicating effectively means direct communication. Candor is kind. If you have not read that book, please pick up that book. If you lead a team and if you lead a business, period, I highly suggest you do, because we also have to communicate with peers, not just teammates. We have to communicate with clients. And even though the uncomfortable stuff can suck the straight life out of you, it is better for you in the long run. I can give you 10 examples just in the past 6 months of supporting clients where not communicating directly comes back to bite you in the end, because maybe eventually you want to offboard that client because they're miserable. Well, they're blindsided because they had no idea there were these problems because you didn't communicate them to start with. Extremely important there. You also need to do this with your teammates. They can't get better if you hide the truth, if you passive aggressively make comments, if you don't just tell them where you found the problem, what you would like to see differently next time, and maybe go crazy and give them a little freedom to tell you how they'll do better next time and let them come up with solutions, right? Feedback is kind. Candor is kindness. I cannot overstate that enough, that telling people, saying exactly what you mean, and you can do it kindly. That does not mean harsh. That does not mean abrasive. It means calmly and kindly communicating what you need to say and actively listening they also need to say. Listen to and be open to their ideas. Your way is not the only way to do it. And trust me, I have really high standards because I produce very high quality output of work. It is hard to delegate when that's the kind of lane that you move in, but my one way is still not the best way. And when I hire somebody for their zone of genius, it's in my onus responsibility to put my hands up and back up a little bit and let them tell me if they have a better idea or a better way to do it, and be open to that. And if I disagree, that's also communication. Why do I disagree? Why will we keep doing it my way? Will we try their way? You're going to be open to new ideas that they have. That's how you make them feel appreciated. And when they feel appreciated and like their expertise is honored and they want to stick around, we've already discussed that that's better for your business financially and from a time standpoint, right? Make them feel appreciated. We started to touch on that here, but ways that you can make them feel appreciated, listen to them. It is to value their expertise and understand that they have different lived experiences than you do, for sure. And a little goes a long way. You can just tell them thank you when they've done something really well. When they knock your socks off, tell them that. Make sure that they know, even though they probably are just delivering what you paid them for, appreciate them for that. Thank them for that. They will feel valued. We love what we do. I love what I do. And when someone I do that for tells me the effect I've had on them, nothing feels more valuable to me. And the same goes for you and your teammates. They're delivering a service, they're delivering an outcome. And yes, while you're paying them for that, so maybe it's just a check on the old block, also show appreciation for that. Remember that they're human, please. Mistakes are going to happen without fail. We are human. I have made costly mistakes in my career, actually having people had to pay the IRS because we missed important deadlines when I was working in finance. And while I was all the way down the rabbit hole in my brain about how terrible this was, when I went to my boss with what happened and a solution to that, he was like, yep, cost of doing business. That stuck with me because I expected him to be like, you did what? This makes me look so bad. You cost them $1,500, on and on and on. He's like, this is the reality of it. Like, we're going to make mistakes. How do we fix that mistake? And blah, blah, blah. Then it was on us to fix that, which we did do. But mistakes are going to happen. Don't forget that. Don't expect a level of perfection ever. Remember that they're human. Remember people are going to get sick. Remember that they might just need a day off and they might need to delay what they're going to get from you, and maybe they're behind on getting deliverables. Like, that is going to happen. We're all doing our best out here. If now, say, rubber meets the road again and they are late on some deliverables and they didn't communicate that, they told you something by Thursday and Friday rolls around and you haven't heard from them, yes, that's a problem. Yes, that's frustrating. Yes, you should address it. Remember when I said that feedback was queen? Feedback is kind, candor is kindness. That's when you're going to have that. Hey, I understand that it's been crazy. You're solo parenting this week. You missed that deadline. You had high hopes. That part I understand. What I just need you to do is take a minute to communicate that with me so I'm not left wondering in the future. Can you do that? Okay, and this channel is best. So make sure you just shoot me a note next time. Now, if that behavior repeats itself and it becomes problematic to your business production, again, another conversation, a different conversation. And there's also a world in which people aren't coachable and they're not going to get better and they're actually costing you money rather than adding the value. And you can certainly cut ways with them. But don't you still want to give them actionable feedback so that they can be better over time? Because you care for them, I assume. These people that you're hiring also are running a business and leading lives. And I care too much to just say, I'm sorry, it's not working. I didn't want to go separate ways. Timing wasn't right. Budget's off, when really is because they did a crap job. I have to go tell them now that they've done a crap job and how to get better. I'm just not going to say crap job. I'm actually going to use effective communication to do so, because it's kind. Also, refer them. Remember what they do, and when they affect change, you can do the same thing. While they'll refer you, you can also refer them. We know that referrals are one of the highest forms of praise in our businesses, and so you can do the same for them. You can send opportunities their way, and that will mean the world to them. And one other thing, if they outgrow you, be happy for them. Also, be extra. You know, I like to bring a little bit of extra to it because I think a little extra goes a long way. So everything that I've already discussed and how you can care for your team and why it matters to you, that's the baseline. That's what you should be doing anyways. Like communication and effective communication and direct communication, that's a non-negotiable if you want to be successful in your business long term. But being extra is negotiable, just not in Steph Rubio world. And so when you go extra, that little cherry on top, people become obsessed with you. And if your team becomes obsessed with you, that's a good thing, right? We talked about all the ways that that will benefit you. They'll stick around. That saves you money. They'll tell other people about you, things like that. It's great for team. It's great for culture. So a couple of ways that you can be extra are notice their milestones and birthdays and celebrate those in whatever way works for you. If you're sending them a gift card because they've been with you a year, that's great. If you just want to send them a handwritten note because they made it 3 months, that's also great. Notice their milestones and the things that they celebrate, both milestones with you and with other people. Be extra and just make them feel seen and heard and appreciated. You can also do gifts and profit sharing bonuses. If you exceeded revenue this year, when you are making extra money in your business, I would assume or hope that you have some sort of extra account that goes into, like a profit account that's taxes and extra profits. If I make a lot of extra this year, there's a great chance that that does have to do with my team, that they enabled me to do so. So reward them by sharing in on that a little bit. Give them a little bit of bump. Give them a little $500 I appreciate you bonus or something like that. If they help you make the profit, then share that profit with them. Optional, but these are ways that you can be extra for your team. And when you're extra, they're going to be obsessed with you. And when they're obsessed with you, we talked about that already, right? Another way that you can be extra, totally optional, but totally extra, is educational and growth opportunities. If you know they are growing into a role with you or in their own business or what they're trying to do, and you can offer growth opportunities that don't cost a lot, a certification, a class where they can learn something really specific to their trade and to a trade, you get the benefit of them directly using that knowledge in your business, knowledge that you probably don't have time to go source now. And they get the benefit of using that in others' businesses and in their lives. And they're going to appreciate and love that you took the time for that. And it doesn't just have to look like class or certifications. You can pay for your teammates to join masterminds. You can pay for your teammates to go to in-person events if they're contractors and run their own businesses. And you have a relationship with someone who has like a program or mastermind where you're like, that's not a fit for me, but that would totally make sense for my teammate. Not only referring them, but you could actually pay for that if it's a benefit that would actually come back to your business, because the trade-off there is the ROI, is that profit that you then might turn around and share in a profit sharing bonus, unless you paid for them to join that mastermind, things like that, you know, and going to in-person events with you. And then you get to introduce people as your teammate and you come across as a whole different professional level then, and they feel seen and heard. And now they're getting opportunities as well. And the last thing I'll say on the how to care for your teammates is a tough one. I've experienced it myself and people gloss right over, but if they outgrow you, be happy for them. It's not a bad thing. If you've done the rest of this, if you've communicated effectively, if you've heard their needs and where they're going, and if you've offered them growth opportunities to allow them to stay with you and to get closer to where they want to go and all of that, you've checked your boxes and they still outgrow you, that's not a bad thing. Would you want to hold someone back? A lot of people don't realize this, and I'll give you an example. And that's typically not what you would be asking, right? But when I left my 9 to 5 years ago, I was there for 5 years. I was consistent. I was a great employee. It was the most secure job I'd ever had. This person, one person was the boss, right? It was a one-man show. Paid out of his business, right? The money that he brought in, paid me to be out on maternity leave, 12 weeks, paid me all through COVID. It was the most secure job to not be this big corporation, to just be one person. And when I left, it was crickets. It was so weird. The energy was so negative. No one really came by. I was like, well, what are you doing now? Like, good job. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. It was like such a negative thing that I had decided to leave and do something different after 5 years. Fast forward a couple years, and I told a the C-suite, I told the CEO and the rest of the C-suite that I was working with at that time in a project management capacity that I was leaving to just do my business my own way and all of this. And the whole room was so excited for me. They immediately were like, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. That's so great. Another one was like, hey, I need to talk to you. I think someone's looking for that kind of service, etc. And the whole room is like so excited for me. Black and white between those two. The contrast between those two experiences sticks with me because I'm like, what was the point of the first one? What was the point of everyone being like, oh, this is taboo. Can't believe Stephanie's leaving. This is a terrible thing. And someone being excited for me. If they outgrow you, and again, you have done your best to retain them, to make them happy, to be a place that they look forward to showing up and doing the work every day, and they decide that still it's not right for them, they're going in a different direction, maybe they're changing services in their business, maybe whatever else. Yes, feel free to ask them. Exit surveys are a thing. And if there's something you could do better, if maybe you thought you were communicating well, but you actually aren't. And if it's on you, cool. Can you correct it for the future? And if it's not, also cool. They just outgrew you. Nothing you need to change. It's a data point you reviewed because great leaders review their data and only make changes based on that. But if they outgrow you, be happy for them. It's not taboo. You shouldn't be upset that they're moving on. Be happy for them genuinely. And when you do that, when you guys end on a good note, when you appreciate what they've added to your business, whether that was for 30 days or 3 years or 5 years or whatever, they will still carry your reputation in rooms you're not in. They will still refer people to you. And all of this hard work, all of this why we do this, the strategic ripple effect it has across our business will still last beyond their direct working relationship with us because they know that we care. They know that we move in integrity. They know that we're true leaders and they send other people our way. So it is in your best interest on many levels to care for your teammates because they will absolutely care for your business. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Rooted and Relentless. If it made you laugh, nod along, or grab that cute little notebook of yours and scribble something down, please hit me with the SSR, subscribe, share, and review, as in leave a review. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram at virtually_Steph Rubio and tell me what you're reading this week. Seriously, I live for a good book moment. Thanks for hanging. Bye.